How are you? I'm Mr. Amuso. Today we want to revise. We want to talk about questions that we have, questions that come when you are an A-level student. Our first question for today is, how important was the role played by ecological factors in the decline of the Mapungubwe? The role played by ecological factors in the decline of the Mapungubwe state. When a question like this occurs, the first thing that we are supposed to do is to underline, identify the key words. On our question, our keywords are how important, role played, ecological factors. What are ecological factors? We are talking about environmental factors. How important were these environmental factors in the downfall of the Mapungubwe state? So that is what we want to talk about today. So when we have identified the keywords, what are we supposed to do now? We are going to divide our question into two. We're going to talk about ecological factors. Then we look on the other factors that were responsible for the downfall, for the demise, for the collapse of the Mapungubwe state. So let's start with the ecological factors. Which were these ecological factors that led to the downfall of the Mapungubwe state? We talk about the decline of trade. Trade, we see that it started to decline. That contributed to the collapse of the Mapungubwe state. Then talk about the exhaustion of minerals. Minerals were no longer found in abundance. That on its own contributing to the downfall of the Mapungubwe state. You talk about the shortages of salt. Salt was no longer adequate in the Mapungubwe state. That again affecting the people, leading to the downfall of the state. You talk about overgrazing. Their animals were no longer having enough grazing pastures. That affected the people, leading to the downfall of the Mapungubwe state. Then you talk about the issue of drought. Series of droughts that were taking place at Mapungubwe affected the people. People were no longer having lumarin. They were not lumarin. They were no longer having enough food. That again led people to die because of hunger, poverty, and starvation, leading to the downfall of the state. Shortages of land. Land was no longer adequate. People were affected by that, leading to the downfall of the Mapungubwe state. So these were some of the ecological factors that led Mapungubwe state to a collapse. But however, there were other factors that were responsible for the collapse of the Mapungubwe state. For example, you talk about overpopulation. People were now too many in the Mapungubwe state. Too many now. It led them to fight over our scarce resources. Succession disputes, they were now common. People were covering each other, hindering each other. Why? Because the resources were no longer adequate. Succession disputes were also a common. Leaders, those who were in leadership, they were also hindering, robbing each other. Why? It is because they were fighting over positions. Succession disputes, they were so common in the Mapungubwe. Then you talk about the rise of Great Zimbabwe. The rise of Great Zimbabwe, it led people to abandon the Mapungubwe, and we now have a new state now in the name of Zimbabwe, Great Zimbabwe. So that is how we answer this question. Thank you so much. I'm Mr. Muso.